In my last video, I talked about how there are only three kinds of men: a bad man, a good man who's bad for you, and a good man who's good for you.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dating View. In today's video, women and men share their personal strategies for dating in 2026. They talk about the mindset shifts, habits, and approaches that have helped them navigate modern dating with more clarity, confidence, and intention. This video explores what's working right now, what people have learned from past experiences, and how they're adapting to today's dating landscape to build better connections.
I'm going to teach you how to date like a CEO. I firmly believe so much of the reason why people are unhappy in their dating lives is because they don't take it as seriously as they would a business. But when you think about it, the most important partnership contract you'll ever sign is your marriage contract. First thing is to start thinking of yourself as a startup company. If you wouldn't invest in your company, why should anyone else? It's so important to buy what you're selling, or no one else is going to either. The same way that an unprepared company might ask an investor to invest in their company without building enough capital and without being impressive enough to do so, you can't really expect someone to want to invest in a relationship with you unless you've built the capital to be dateable. Build your confidence, your sense of self, and your independent life like capital. Your company needs a unique value proposition, so do you. If you couldn't put together a massive pitch deck for yourself of why you'd make a great partner, what you bring to the table, what the ROI of dating you is, why would anyone waste their time? So make sure you have a list of 20 reasons why you'd make a great partner. This is what the value of dating me is. The second thing is scarcity triggers perceived value. It's cognitive bias. It's so true in business and it's so true in dating. Luxury brand would never beg for its customers because it knows its value. Date like one. There's so much psychology and neuroscience behind the fact that if something is harder to access, your brain is going to see it as more valuable. Your time and focus is your most valuable asset. Why are you draining reserves on a potential investor when there are thousands of them? Hundreds of thousands of them. The last thing is, before you get into a relationship with someone, run a cost-benefit analysis. What is the ROI of dating them? You're both investing in each other, so stop investing in things that are draining your reserves just because the stock might look exciting. Hopefully this quarter's emotional losses will be less significant.
If I was a dude, my dating strategy would be to go to one of those mega cities where there's like way more hot chicks than there is attractive guys and start there. And I'm talking like New York City, Toronto. The girls in these places are so fucking tired of the options because there are none. And the guys, they got the pick of the litter. It's for every like really hot girl, and there's a lot of them, there's like maybe one guy that is a viable option. If you're even like remotely attractive, there is no competition in these cities as a guy. If you got money, man, you don't have competition anywhere. But if you don't got money and you're like and you're okay financially, but you're hot, the girls in this city will eat you up. My dating strategy as a girl would be a little different. I instead would be going to those places where, number one, maybe looks are not super valued or prioritized as much as like these mega cities like Miami, New York, Toronto. Maybe I'm going to the South, southern states. The men there, they got a good head on their shoulders. They got their head screwed on, right? Priorities are correct. They care about family, they care about God, and they're raised like gentlemen. Because these guys in these mega cities that have way too many options and no competition, those guys don't even want relationships. That's the gag of it, is they have so many options that now they can't settle down. Their brains are fried. But you do have the pick of your litter because there's legit, like I said, no competition. For girls, it's a completely different strategy. You got to go to like Europe or the southern states where the priorities are different. The guys have different values. They value and are taught that family is everything. They have that manly provider mindset, and provider goes beyond finances. These provider guys, they like want to take care of their families. They want families. Guys in the States, especially like the non-southern states, and like definitely guys in Canada, like they lost the plot. These motherfuckers will they will have a kid with you, move in with you, do all the things, and still not want to marry you. Still will be like, oh, nah, like we're not even that serious. What?
In my last video, I talked about how there are only three kinds of men: a bad man, a good man who's bad for you, and a good man who's good for you. In this video, I want to talk about how to identify a bad man because it's actually very simple. There are only three things that make someone a bad man. The first one is the easiest to identify, and the last one is hardest to fake. So let's get into it. My name is Rachel. I teach women discernment so you can stop dating from hope and start choosing with clarity. The first way to identify a bad man is that he doesn't care about your needs. If he doesn't look for, try to understand, or ask about your needs, or if he invalidates or dismisses your needs, that man is a bad man and you can kindly let him go. A good man's response to your needs will always be, I will if I can. So a man automatically not being able to meet your needs is not a bad man. The second way to identify a bad man, he attacks you when you're happy. If a man ever tries to criticize or squash your joy, that is a bad man. If he wants to be the sole source of your happiness, that is a bad man. If he tries to eliminate activities, passions, or people that make you happy, that is a bad man. Good men want to see you happy and want to see you win. This is really something that is observed over time. It's not really something that you're going to be able to see right away. But this third thing, this one is really hard to fake. The third sign of a bad man is that he enjoys the destruction of innocence. And this is not only indicative of bad men, this is indicative of bad people in general. But if someone takes pleasure in the physical, mental, or emotional destruction of innocence, that is a telltale sign of a bad person. They derive power from breaking down others. And that's because healthy people instinctually protect innocence. I'd love to talk more about this. Put any questions or comments you have below.
So here's my latest tactic to try to get a date, because what I've realized is that matching isn't so much my issue. Like, I can match with somebody, but just getting a response is the struggle. I mean, you might go back and forth like one or two messages, but then after a while the conversation just dies, and then what do? So, I'll wait, but I've tried this new tactic. There were 6 women who hadn't gotten back to me, various stages of conversation. Some had never even talked to me. And I was like, you know what, we're gonna change this thing up. No, I asked that you ignore my Hinge graveyard there, but these are the 5 that I was talking about. There was 6. Leslie finally decided I can't take this anymore. And you'll notice that Maggie actually did respond to this tactic. My tactic is, I'm just going to send them the lyrics of Hit Me Baby One More Time until they either comment, which Maggie did, that was cool of her, or they unmatch like Leslie decided to. And it was a shame. We had a really good back and forth about the band Chiodos and Bring Me to the Horizon. I'm still very interested in her. I guess she's just not a Britney Spears fan. And as you'll see here, I don't just start with the song. No, like, I'm gonna space it out, and I let them know, hey, like, I've got nothing to lose in this situation, so I just start sending them the lyrics just ever so slightly. And it's at different times of the day too. I don't know when they're on. I know they're inundated with messages. I gotta stand out. I figured a banger from 1997 would help me do that. And as you can see, I get really into it with the Hit Me Baby One More Time. But it was this message down here, the oh pretty baby, there's nothing I wouldn't do, that finally had Leslie just tapping out. She couldn't take anymore. She was done. Now, the funny part is, when I started doing this, I figured that half of them right away would just be like, fuck this noise, I am out. And to my surprise, they all stuck around for a while, like a good long while, until, as I said, Leslie checked out. But that wasn't until the second stanza of the song. Like, she stuck around for the majority of the song and then finally decided, you know what, I don't want this in my life. I'm sorry. Who doesn't want Britney Spears in their life? I figured I have to document this now before they all unmatch and all the proof is just gone. It's in the ether. It's deep in the recesses of, Hinge's database. So I'm very interested to see how long I can keep doing this for and how many of them are left still standing. Before you mention, they probably just deleted Hinge. They're probably not using it. I know. I'm aware. I mean, Haley here, she might have just matched with me and then immediately deleted it because there was nothing to go off of. She just matched. There's a conversation with me and me only. So again, what do I have to lose? Is this the best strategy? No, but I'm already talking to myself. So I figure, okay, well, best case scenario, they're like, my God, I can't believe that this amazing man who knows all the lyrics to Britney Spears' classic banger was just sitting there the entire time and I was ignoring him. How stupid was I? Yes, I'd love to go get coffee and maybe a scone. That's the best case scenario. The most likely scenario is they just all unmatch, or they just never get back to me because, as we talked about, they deleted the app. But you know what? That's not going to deter me. Shoot or shoot. Because if you're not going to talk to me, I'm going to talk to me through classic lyrics. Anyway, I snuck a cheesecake into the movies right now. I'm just waiting for it to start. So I'm going to go eat that. And yeah, go birds.
I have a genuine question for all the girls that like go on dates and like are actively dating. Why do you guys snitch on yourselves? Why do you tell this man everything he needs to know about you and the way that he's going to act within the first 30 minutes of meeting you? I get some really good tea from my friends who are constantly dating, and we are in college, so the market is really shit. But when I tell you, they literally will sit here and be like, yeah, he asked about my past relationships, and I just was like telling him about John. Yeah, he was like, that's crazy. And I was like, you told him that John cheated on you and like did you extremely dirty with like your best friend? They'll be like, yeah, I just felt like I needed to be open and honest. Why do you need to know that? You're telling him you just told him that your past relationship is absolutely shit, and now he's thinking, okay, I just need to do the bare minimum to be with this girl. And I'm not saying that's true, but that's what you're kind of insinuating. That's kind of the conclusions he's drawing in his head. I don't give a crap. I'm lying. I'm telling him I had the most amazing, beautiful man, but he actually passed away. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. That's not funny, but it's like he was great. It just like he had to move, and long distance was extremely hard. It has to be like the most simple breakup, bro. I don't care if that's the man I marry. He does not need to worry about what the hell I had going on in my past relationship, especially if I was getting done dirty left and right. It's also just kind of like, damn, like the person's hearing that and they're kind of like, damn, like you tolerated that. Like respect levels down. No disrespect, but like I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes when I am talking to girls and they tell me about their exes and the shit that they did, I do be like, damn, bitch, like love yourself. You should go and love yourself. So now your significant other or soon to be significant other is thinking about that and thinking about that about you. All that's registering in my head and it's pissing me off. Y'all have got to get it together. It's like psychology 101, bro. Like you don't tell people your past traumas because they'll use it against you. They'll just repeat it. It's repeated behavior. They can't. I honestly don't even think it's like an intentional thing. It's just kind of like she won't care. She got cheated on in her last relationship. Like, so what if I don't give her princess treatment? That's at least I'm not cheating on her. And then maybe they do end up cheating on you because they're like, shit, whatever. But you know, all I'm saying is don't expose your past relationships. I'm not gonna lie, I'm lying. I'm saying that was the best relationship of my life. It's gonna be really hard to beat that. I'm a lie. I don't care.
So you want to know how to do casual. Here's what helped me. There's a couple of reasons as to why I'm really good at being casual, and here's a few of them. So I've had 3 relationships in my life, and 2 of them I've gotten into them and then 6 months later realized I don't really like this person. And I don't like how they're treating me this far into our relationship. And so basically, I got so sick and tired of my boyfriends at the time that I was just like, you know what, fuck this. I would much rather be single than be in a relationship like this. Like, I've had enough relationships do me dirty to the point where I'm like, okay, I would much rather be single than go through this all the time. And if that doesn't work for you, if you've had good relationships that have been, beneficial to your life, here's another trick. You have to go into it with the idea that it's not going to work. Like if a man just asked me to come over to his house and they don't ask me on a date, I'm going to know, okay, they don't want to date me. You have to come to that conclusion beforehand. You have to know what a man's intentions are before you get involved. And I don't mean ask them. I mean, read the signs, spot the red flag. Like if they only ask you to hang out at night, after dark, if they just want you to come over, if they don't want to take you on a date, they don't want to date you. So you have to think, okay, this is not my future husband. I cannot go in with the intention that they are going to want to date me and spend the rest of their life with me. And basically, those are my 2 things. Like, that's how I do it. I know that in my life, I am so much better on my own as a single girl than a girlfriend. No man that I have met has lived up to my expectations of, like, he's the kind of boyfriend I want. I don't even mean appearance-wise. I just mean He's not going to be the communicator that I want. He's not going to be the boyfriend that I want. He's not going to have the same sense of humor as me. Therefore, I know that I'm better off on my own. And also, relationships are a lot of work, and I'm just not in the point of my life where I really think that that's going to benefit my life. And so I'm just really good at not catching feelings. Also, you can't text them all the time, and you can't hang out with them more than like every couple of days, because then you're going to get attached really quickly and you're going to get used to it. You have to spread it out really far. Like, I've been hanging out with this guy for like 6 months. We see each other maybe once or twice a month, and that's perfect. That's casual. We're not texting all the time. We don't see each other all the time. We just hang out whenever we want to hang out with each other, usually every few weeks. Take it or leave it, girl.
Besties, I'm back. Today we're going to be talking about how to make the talking stage more interesting. So Cupid call. How do we keep him interested? How do we keep him wanting to come back for more? Because this is day 5 on where I tell you how to get a boyfriend by Valentine's Day. Okay, so let's just get into it. Sometimes you could be in a talking stage with somebody and things could just go so dry that you're like, what am I supposed to say? Because the first thing is you need to stop giving him girlfriend priorities. If you want to keep the talking stage going, stop acting like you're his girlfriend. This is a mistake a lot of people do because you probably like this guy so much that you just want to date him so bad, you want to give him everything. If you're sleeping on FaceTime with him, girl, genuinely, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be sleeping on FaceTime with this man, let alone even be on FaceTime with him the whole day or for hours. If you're somebody being like, oh my god, let me talk to his parents every time I walk into his house, girlfriend priority. Genuinely, he's probably not even thinking about dating you because you're already doing everything that he wants. He hasn't even asked you to be his girlfriend yet. Like, bruh, we don't want that. So if you want to keep the talking stage interesting, you have to like match his energy. You can't be like all lovey-dovey with him just for him to like you more, only for him to not reciprocate that. If he's chill, be chill back. If he's a little mean, be a little zesty back. If you're hanging out with him and he gives you a kiss goodbye, this is something where you literally have to like pull away and be like, not until you ask me to be your girlfriend. Another thing you guys are probably doing wrong is every time you guys have a conversation, you're kind of like dragging it only because you really want to talk to him more. And I understand, he's probably a cutie and you probably just want to talk to him all day. When the conversation ends, it's over. It's done. There's nothing that you can do, so don't try to drag it out because it's gonna start being boring. Really want to text him later, be like, hey, like, I'm sorry, I gotta go back to class, but it was nice seeing you. Let him end it first all the time, because if he keeps ending it, he's gonna be like, oh my god, like, I don't even know like what else to say to this girl. And if you guys are texting, you guys are probably asking each other every day, like, what are you doing? How is your day? Like the same basic questions, which is fine, but like throughout time, those questions are gonna start to get boring. If you want to get to know them, literally just jump chapters. They just ask them the most randomest. Don't be shy, because after all, you guys are in a talking stage together. Like, you shouldn't be nervous or shy around him and like asking him certain questions. You want to get to know him. Literally the whole point of a talking stage. It's literally just to get to know him. Even something like, oh my god, what's your favorite food? But if you do end up asking like any question, you kind of want to see if he responds with, what about you? The whole thing is though, we want to see if this guy's still interested in us. 2 months me and my boyfriend were talking, he would never ask me like, what about you? I knew everything about this man, and this man just like, he knew nothing about me. After I did tell him that, he kind of did end up taking me seriously, and then we had like a great talking stage. Our talking stage was like 6 months. For everyone it's different, but if you want to keep the talking stage interesting, this is what you have to do. My beautiful besties, I love you guys so much. I really hope these tips helped you guys. I'm gonna go finish my makeup, but I love you guys so much. We'll talk again tomorrow.
Hey men, I'm talking to you. Today I'm going to be telling you how to know it's time to make the first move and how to know when it's not time to make the first move. I was sitting in my bed last night and I thought, wow, it must be really hard to be a man and have to know, is this the right time to kiss her? I never really thought about that because I usually just go in for the kill. But you know, it's scary, and I've had many times where a man tries to kiss me and I'm like, how in the hell are you not picking up on the signs that I don't want to kiss you right now? But hey, maybe they just are dumb. So here I am going to explain it to you very easily. Let's get into it. Okay, first signs it's time to make the first move. 1, you've been hanging out with this girl a lot. Tension's been rising, okay? It feels so heavy, like it's gonna explode. You guys can't get enough of each other, okay? But you haven't kissed her yet and you're scared and you don't want to accidentally assault her. That's really good. Good job, King. Don't scare her. Here's what you're gonna do. If she is constantly making eye contact with you, she's like constantly looking over at you, like fluttering her eyelashes, looking at your lips, looking at your eyes, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Go. If she's getting touchy and she's touching up on you, guys are sitting next to each other, she's like rubbing her hands up all on you, rubbing her hand on your pants, touching you, she probably wants to put your lips on her lips, okay? If she keeps turning her body towards you, facing you, she wants her face to be next to your face, chances are she also wants your lips on her lips, okay? Okay, signs it is not time to make the first move, okay? And this is a big red flag. don't do it, it's not time, your time will come, but it's not now. One, she creates distance in between you guys. It is very possible that this is your first date with a girl and she doesn't want to kiss you because she realizes she doesn't like you very much. And hey, it happens, king, it happens. Keep your head up. If she doesn't return touch, like if you put your arm around her and she kind of like scoots away or doesn't like lean into it, you're trying to hug her and she's not hugging you back, you're holding her hand and her hand's limp, chances are she's uncomfortable. Also, very big indicator, if she avoids eye contact, sorry, king, you gotta take your losses. You gotta go. Parley did not hit. If you're looking at her, like staring at her, she's just like looking straight, scared AF, chances are she's scared AF and she doesn't want to kiss you. So if you want to test out the waters, say, I really don't know. These signs are all over. It's giving mixed signals. What do I do? All right, here's what you can do. Slow it down. Don't go too fast. Go slow. Put your arm on her, put it on her face and turn her face towards you and look at what her face looks like. It looks like I'm so freaking scared right now. I look like a deer in headlights. Chances are it's not because she's nervous. It's because she's actually scared and doesn't know how to say stop. Or if she looks like she's looking at your eyes, looking at your lips, looking at your eyes, you're in the green, sir. You still don't know. Because consent is cool. You should say, can I kiss you? Can I kiss you? If she wants to kiss you, she'll say yes. She says like, I don't know, I just ate garlic. It's not the time. Chances are she doesn't want to kiss you. Okay, that's all I have for today. I just want to help everyone get on the same page. We don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. It's a crazy world, and I love you all. And we all deserve to feel love and have a crush and make out because it's awesome. I love you guys. Stay sexy and amazing.
All right, most of y'all know I'm really against dinner dates, but dinner dates are inevitable. We have to eat, and they're going to happen. So here's 2 ways you can spice up your dinner dates, okay? So the first thing you're going to do, and this will make it way more intimate. I saw this when I was in New York recently, 2 weeks ago. One of my childhood friends did this with her boyfriend. Every date they go on, most people sit across from each other. They sit side by side, close, intimate, staring at each other, can touch each other. It's like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. They were side by side. It was so intimate. So spice up your date. Next time you go for a dinner, sit next to each other. I think it's like so cute, cool, and it's different, and it makes it a little bit different. What you're going to do is you're going to go to a place to eat that has live music. Now, not just any place. You're going to have to go to a place. I love softer music, so I would go to a place that has softer music. And what you got to do is ahead of time. So you got to be a little bit ahead on this, even if it's a couple hours. But you call the place with live music, and you try to get a hold of the artist or the person that talks to the artist and recommend your girl's favorite song. And let me tell you, when she hears that favorite song be played, and the guy might give a shout out, hey, this one's for your girl's insert girl's name here. This one's for so-and-so. She'll melt. Like, you went out of your way to do that, and it's actually so thoughtful. So spice up your date like that, and that would probably make both of y'all melt. I mean, imagine sitting side by side munching calamari and watching her favorite song be played. It's just unbelievable.
So my strategy for dating this year has completely changed. Now, in the past, I would just go on dates for the sake of going on dates without even speaking to them really and without getting a vibe from them, because I thought to myself, oh yeah, I think they're attractive, I might like them in person, or, give people a chance, you might actually like them in person and be surprised. The amount of dates that I went on, that the minute I walked in, I was like, nah, this isn't my person. And then you have to freaking sit there for an hour, 2 hours, and it is just exhausting. So my strategy for this year is to be more intentional with dating and to maybe talk to people a bit more than a day or two before going on a date with them, to see if there's a vibe, to see if you connect, if there's any banter, etc.
Too many men waste away their 20s dating the wrong women, so I made a list of the top women you want to avoid in 2026 coming from a man who is married. If she vapes, cut her off immediately. If she calls male celebrities hot, ew, gone. If she hates the idea of being a mother, okay, you don't want to procreate, what's the point of dating then? You're going to be very lonely in the future. If she goes out on weekends, bonus if she dresses unmodest. Cut. If she's ungrateful for the little things, what an insufferable person to be around. If she has a past history of cheating, okay, again, patterns do not lie. Avoid. Cut. If she doesn't say thank you after buying dinner, again, what an insufferable person to be around. If she sucks at communicating and is avoidant during hard conversations, that one is going to save you a lot of trouble. Cut. If you say no guy friends and she says that's controlling, terrible mindset, cut her immediately, block her. If she doesn't make you sourdough and can't cook, thank me later.
Strict 2026 rules For women, when it comes to dating, listen up. No communication for 24 hours, cut.
Oh.
If he's nonchalant, cut. We want passion. We
Yeah,
want
we want
romance. No effort in planning dates, cut.
No.
No emotional intelligence, cut. Liar, cut. First time you see him lie. First time you
Yeah.
see a lie out of that man's mouth, you
Yeah.
cut it. Texting his ex,
Oh, no.
cut. Anything to do with his ex, cut. Liking every girl's pictures,
No.
cut.
Not cool, guys.
Ignores your messages for a couple of hours. We live with our phones literally glued to us.
Look, if someone doesn't respond, we've all got our phones in our hands 24/7. Like, if they're not responding, it's because they don't want to.
cut. Dates just for fun, not looking for anything serious.
Oh, shut up.
Cut. Don't try and change him. I know women that are like, oh, he'll fall in love with me. And no, he's told you from the start he doesn't want anything.
Yeah.
Cut. No goals in life. Cut. Doesn't want a future with you. Cut. No respect. Cut. Too many female friends. Cut. Believes in 50-50. Cut. Doesn't have manners. Cut. Can't take accountability. Cut. Isn't excited for your wins. Doesn't clap for you in life. Cut. I just don't post online. Never posts you. Cut. Emotionally unavailable. Cut. And toxic. Cut.
Yeah.
Ladies, we're not
That's
doing
it.
none of that shit in 2026.
We're cutting everything, guys.
Everything is love, passion, realness, rawness. We want the real deal. That's what you want. Any games, any funny shit, goodbye.
My friend and I were in the car this morning and we're going to take a very strategic approach to dating. I want to go on one date per month. Just one. I want to be able to say I'm trying, I'm consistent. Just one date per month. I have dating apps. I'm not a big dating app checker user. Like, I don't actively swipe unless I'm like having a moment. So here's my strategy to it. I'm going to spend the first 2 weeks of the year being social normally. And if I meet someone out and they ask me out, we go on a date, great, check. Went on one date. If we're 2 weeks into the month and there has not been a date, that just inherently happened, then I will go on a dating app and I will schedule a date. So we will use it as a backup if meeting someone in the wild doesn't happen, but we will try for like normalcy of life first. What do we think? Is that like a good idea? Is that being too stringent with it? Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a way to make dating apps more attainable and less like cumbersome, while also hoping that I, meet someone in the wild. I don't know. Thinking out loud here.
This video just might save your life. You need to stop dating people off of preference and start dating people off of non-negotiables, okay? Stop looking for people that please the moment instead of looking at people that are going to help you in the long run. All right, this is very obvious for a lot of people, right? So let's talk about a little bit what preferences are. Preferences are things like they're attractive. I like them because they smell good. They are, just things that are always changing, okay? Like, I like their hair when it's blonde, and I like him because he's 6 foot. He's athletic. He works out. He goes to the gym. He knows how to cook. He knows how to clean. Like, those are preferences, and there's nothing wrong with having preferences, but I'm going to teach you something. When your preferences outweigh your non-negotiables, your identity is at risk of being lost, and if you neglect your non-negotiables, you need to have more non-negotiables than there are preferences, or it needs to be at least evened out. If your non-negotiables are changed because you want to be with somebody else, you're basically telling yourself, I don't like you enough to be myself, so I'm going to change so that I can fit into somebody else's narrative and somebody else's agenda. Even though they're probably really bad for me, I'm going to change myself, and I'm going to go against my morals and values and all the things that I believe that I should deserve as a man or woman of God so that I can be with this person. All right, I'm going to teach you something a little bit, okay? Non-negotiables are things you cannot live without, things you will not cross over, boundaries you won't cross over, values, things that you really care about. So my non-negotiables are like, I make Christ is the center of my foundation with my relationship. Like, we're always going to be praying morning, night, evening, worshiping God. Like, we're going to be annoying. They got to love Christ more than me. They got to love family. Sweating a little bit. Value family time. I had this written down somewhere in my non-negotiables. Being selfless. Like, so those are very like non-negotiable, because for me, these things help make sure that my relationship with this person, especially the one that I'm dating right now, this is what preserves. Obviously, Christ preserves all things, but these things help navigate my relationship to go in the way that God has called for it to be in. If I only live my life off of preference and what I like about the person, that those things are going to change, and then when they start to change, you're going to get upset. Oh, I don't know what happened. Like, they started to act different. I don't know why. Because you went off of preference. They were attractive, but they didn't have a brain. Right? They were attractive, and you liked that, they knew how to cook, but they didn't have Christ in their life at all. You wanted somebody who was a family man. That person hates his own family. Hello? Wake up. So, I'm going to give you, it's called the 4-4 rule. Okay? It cannot be less than 4. You can have four preferences and 4 non-negotiables. Okay? It would be even better if you had 5 non-negotiables and only 3 preferences. Okay, so this is making 8. If 5 preferences outweigh your non-negotiables, you have a problem. Okay? And let's say you probably only have 3 non-negotiables. I encourage you, get 4. 4 preferences for non-negotiables. Okay? Make it evened out. Okay? I would argue to say have 5 non-negotiables and 3 preferences. Because this is foundational. A lot more foundation. Look at it. Way more foundation here than in the 3 here. You can't build a house on sand. You want to build a house where you know it's going to be stable. How do I know my relationship is going to be stable? I have Christ at the center of it. Obviously, it's not negotiable. Values, family values, identity. They know what they want. Maybe even finances. That's non-negotiable as well. This right here, when this is preserved and this is in place before I start to pursue them in a more deeper level, that's not a word, on a more deep level, on a deeper level, you're putting yourself in a place where it's preserving, it's protecting yourself from things that are fleeting and changing, like preferences. Okay? So in 2026, help me help you with having a good dating lifestyle. You can avoid heartbreak. You can avoid so much things if you have non-negotiables. And if that person's non-negotiables align with your non-negotiables, hello, that's a good way to say, am I equally yoked with this person? You shouldn't be, if you're dating somebody, you shouldn't be asking, are we equally yoked? You should have figured that out like way beforehand. And if you're in it right now, and go, I don't know if I should be with this person or not. Go seek your pastor, ask for counsel, ask for your friends of what they think as well, because they're very, very close to you, so they know if you're acting up, if you're acting different. You will know that somebody's yoked with you and equally yoked if it's bearing good fruit. If it's bearing bad fruit, it is not godly, it is not holy. Okay? So, I say all this to say, save your future marriage, save everything, save your life and your family by having non-negotiables outweigh your preferences. 4-4 rule, 5-3 rule. That's it. God bless. Hopefully this helps.